It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity.
Hello, everybody. You'll have to forgive me. The weather is a little crap, and I'm having a few audio technical difficulties that are hardware related. Mainly my auxiliary cord that I plug into my headphones has decided that one end has a kink in it. And because of that, if the cord gets nudged in a way it doesn't like, it cuts audio from half of my headset. Anyway, here's Q calling.
Good morning, F-22 Hunter. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Super. Turn towards your microphone and we'll hear you properly as well.
Huh. Yeah.
So, if I've got it right, and I know I have got it right because I keep an eye on these sorts of things, has just gone 7:30 where you are in the central time zone in the States. What do you want to be doing today?
Well, I finished the Emma grind, so
You did.
so I would like to do at least one game in the 190D to.
We can do hundreds of games, well, dozens anyway, or several, in the Focke Wulf 190D. Let's do it right now. Let's get a tier 7 to go alongside you. And we'll get into our first match. That will do nicely, I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if the camera's going to work. And if you're watching my stream, you may see something interesting in a moment. A new loading screen for the queue.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's not one of Wargaming's standard loading screens. They've got a selection which by default comes up. But today I learned how to actually substitute, in this case, one of my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be working on that steadily to produce new backgrounds. And there probably aren't enough people on stream to know where the inspiration for this particular design comes from. But if you do, brownie points are available.
Well, there's a stream delay, so I'm still waiting to see it. Oh,
That is different, isn't it?
that is shockingly different. I have no idea what that's from, but that is
No.
shockingly different.
You're way too young to know where that would come from. The only people who would get that are people of around my age, and will understand that it's not actually everybody's flappy nowadays, it's everybody's happy nowadays. Bogey-Wan Kenobi! It's been a while. Good to see you. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for joining F22 as well. Yes, so I'll give you a hint. It's actually design elements from 7-inch single sleeves from a group that was very active in the 1970s. I will go no further than that.
Hello, Nova. Welcome to the stream.
Do say wave at Nova for me.
I mean, he can hear you.
I'm waving at Nova over the internet because waving is a good thing to hear. Right, go get them in your new Emma Vogel piloted Focke Wulf 190D.
Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to make use of her skills. Like, I've thrown her in the 229 for a few matches to try and get that next skill point so I could put Engine Guru on this plane.
Good move. Yes, she does need a bit of training to get her up to a reasonable level of effectiveness. The good news is it doesn't take an awful lot. I'm having to do it in the Spitfire DB5, of course, because I don't have many premiums on the NA account.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to leave you to deal with the control centre.
Yep.
I'm going to go off to the garrison first, I think, actually. You've been grinding some continuing education stuff. And World of Warships in clan battles. Yeah, I've got to go back to ships at some point. I've got a space for it at the moment. Both my videos and my World of Warships play have been squeezed out by other things. Real life, of course. But I've been quite busy on the World of Warplanes. They kept me very busy over summer, as I think people who are long-time regulars of the stream will know. And of course I've been playing Expeditions Rome. Ooh, little thing of note, it's not a big thing, but I was quite pleased to get it today. I've got my first 30k battle.
Oh, really?
Yes. XF90 on the NA server, so I've been told it doesn't count, but it's good practice. Now I need to get it on the EU server.
Why would it not count?
I think it was a tongue-in-cheek remark, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, how are you doing? You've done that already, so have you gone to the airfield?
Well, I was on my way to the airfield.
Okay, you've met something that disagreed with you.
Yes.
Buenos dias, Bogey-Wan, since you said hola.
Nova says it does count. Congrats.
Of course it does.
And now you have to do it in not a tier 10.
That is interesting. And I agree with Nova, it does count. It's a different challenge on the EU server, but that's exactly what it is, a different challenge.
Also, Nova, I have no idea how to do the 190 jank. I know it's a thing, it's... no idea.
Air supremacy achieved.
Talking of manoeuvres, I was watching one of Kayam Invictus's videos on the F7U as it happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, during the week.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've reconfigured how I set up that plane. And his very first manoeuvre is to fly to a command centre, drop his bombs. Actually, I don't think his bombing is brilliant. It's just the way he plays the fighter side of that plane is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, he did the bombing, and then he pulls a move. He pulls upwards, and frankly, I've no idea how he pulls off what looks almost like a Cobra manoeuvre.
Really?
And I've been trying to replicate it, and it's very close to being a full-on Cobra. And I've no idea how he pulls it off.
That's really hard to do, considering Cobra maneuvers are, like, almost exclusive to thrust vectoring jets.
Yeah,
And that
it's
wasn't
incredible.
a thing in the 50s.
You must watch it. I mean, I may be exaggerating it a little bit for effect, but he pulls up vertically and flips over in a style which is extremely reminiscent to me of a Cobra. It's incredible, and I just can't see what key combination and what he's using to be able to pull that maneuver
Probably
off.
a joystick, maybe?
I'm pretty sure it must be a joystick.
I had one guy in my in a stream of mine that 1 week where you were not able to join. He was demanding I do a Cobra maneuver in a P-51, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
that's not gonna happen, buddy.
It wouldn't happen in real life, let alone in World of Warplanes.
I know World of Warplanes doesn't have a realistic physics engine, but give it a little more credit than that.
It is a stunning maneuver. I mean, the only disappointment about it is he's not actually doing it to evade anybody or get in somebody's tail. He's just doing it so he can quickly traverse back into the sector, having flown to the end of it, having dropped his 4th bomb. And he pulls up, and it's very impressive. Yeah, he really is a very smooth flyer. You're right, Bogey.
He's
Very impressive indeed.
There's a reason he's one of the best on the NA server.
Mm. I mean, there's a very few videos I watch where I go, how the hell did you do that? But that was one of those moments. I actually replayed it 3 times in a row to make sure I wasn't imagining it. And no, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is a joystick. I haven't actually looked, to
I don't
be
see
truthful.
how you would do that on keyboard. I honestly don't.
I was trying, and I got sort of like 50% of it, a very quick up and over, but it wasn't the way that he seemed to slide through the air whilst in a vertical attitude and then flip over and start going back towards the sector.
The big thing that I think the joystick users have an advantage over me on the keyboard is they actually have the ability to like fine-tune all their controls. Like they can actually like control how much throttle their engines have just easily, while I'm just kind of just slamming on the air brake and the flaps to try and just force the aircraft to slow down as fast as it can.
Yeah, it's much more crude than joystick players. The thrust control. That's one big drawback of using mouse and keyboard. I don't think it is Bogey. I think that's something different. It's easy enough to find. I think Kaim Invictus has got 2 videos on the F7U, and it comes pretty much at the start. He flies to a command center. It's the map where you've got a command center on one side of the map, airfield, I think it is, in the middle. Might be an airbase, and then 2 sectors on the left. 2 sectors on the left side of the map, or 3 sectors on the left side of the map, 2 garrisons and a mining plant. Ooh. You're right. And it's easy to find. And then, as I say, he flies into the sector. He flies right through the sector very low and drops his bombs. That I don't think is fantastic bombing, but it's fine. It works.
He might not have Love Heart in that plane.
He might not have Mary in the plane. You're quite right. And then he's got to the end of the sector, and then he does this flip upwards and almost seems to slide through the air whilst vertical, and then the power kicks in and he comes back the same way that he's just come. And I can't replicate it. I can't do it. Listen, the Focke Wulf 190D, I'm going to indulge you and say you keep choosing that plane if you want, keep flying it, and I'll just support it with other tier 7s if you would like that.
Sure, we can do one more.
Absolutely up to you. You can do as many as you like. I've no problem with you dedicating your work to that aircraft.
Well, we can do one more, and then we can change tier, and I'll just fly a German premium if I have it, and in that tier, and I'll just throw that in there.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. So it'll be tier 10 then.
Oh gosh.
How many premiums have you got at tier 10?
None.
Oh really? Oh, okay.
I only have 1 German tier 10.
I don't have any, I think.
Don't you have any?
For those of you looking at the loading screen, this is very provisional, this design. I've had it pointed out to me that when you're on a marathon, some of the things that I've got on the screen will intrude on the mission description, so I need to shove things around. But since I knocked this up from scratch this morning, not having even realised you could do this, I'm actually pretty pleased with it.
Nova, I know that in theory I could get all of the controls on the keyboard. It would just be incredibly unruly to get them all finessed. Like, I've got my rudder controls on the side buttons of my mouse. Like my control scheme setup is not ideal, flat out.
Takes an awful lot of relearning, though, if you're going to change it.
Yeah, I don't want to relearn everything.
Yeah, I can sympathise with that. You
Part
have
of the
to be
reason I was
really
hesitant
determined.
part of the reason I was hesitant to even put manual rudder control is I'm like, okay, where the hell am I going to put it?
Hello, RCN HMS Avra Arrow. Now, I'm pretty sure with that prefix that you've been here before under a different name or a slightly different name. But thank you very much for your recent follow. I'm bound to say I'm not quite sure what you mean by the RN heavy fighters. Do you mean the British heavy fighters? Hello, old Grandad. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining.
Well, I guess I'm going to go to the mining plant and try and help take that.
Mortania, there is actually throttle control in the game. If you've got a joystick, your throttle control can be mapped to the throttle control.
In theory, you
Incidentally,
can do it on keyboard, but it's a little harder.
it's a lot harder because you have to basically use the number keys and go, I'll press 5 for half throttle, and so on and so on. And I don't think I know anybody who actually does it.
On keyboard warriors, no. The joystick people, they probably have full control over every little possible thing on their aircraft. Which, you know, good for them. I don't have the money for a joystick.
Oh, I hear another gift idea coming. But again, if you want to sort of keep using a joystick, it's a big learning experience again.
Right. I have used simulators before, though, so I'm familiar with how a joystick would operate.
You might find the conversion easier than certainly I did. I found it very difficult and gave up on it. I'll talk about the British heavies, if I remember, after the battle. Suffice to say that I wouldn't call them necessarily classic heavies in the sense that
I would call them pseudo ground attackers, personally.
certainly the mid-tier ones have that element. Did you get the ground attack?
I did.
Good. I'll chase the bomber then. I'm going to wait for the bomber to turn back into the sector, incidentally.
I'm going to move on and see if I can do some damage with the airfield.
Sounds good. Oh, I don't need to actually wait to kill the bomber. I've just realised you have already obtained the sector.
Yep, killing the ground attacker was enough. Yeah. We got to stop them from holding this airfield, otherwise they'll just be right back.
That's right. They'll just keep feeding themselves to me. Oh, that's interesting, old Grandad. And certainly I wouldn't even think about trying to control the throttle in gradations on the keyboard. It can be done, but I just don't know anybody who would want to do it. I certainly don't.
Oh, there's an XP-67 shooting me. Oh, and the 109G.
Probably want to stop him from shooting you if you can.
Well, at the end of the day, he did stop.
He did, because basically he had no more aircraft to shoot, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works for me.
He ran out of target.
No more hit points to be farmed. Any video link for WW and throttle? Not that I'm aware of. I wouldn't necessarily say that there isn't, Mortania, but I will say most of the elite players of this game play with joystick, and I just couldn't get on with it, unfortunately. Let me remove that element there. Didn't do the count. So we'll just remove that. There we go. I'll see if I can, after the game, I'll just quickly show you where you can control throttle with a mouse. And as I say, mouse and keyboard, I have to say, I just don't think you'd want to do it. I could be wrong. Maybe wrong. Actually, we seem to have gotten all right with their airfields still being their airfield. So far.
I'm dead.
Yes, I saw.
Little
You.
190 is still not really a great dogfighter, is it?
I would never ever try and dogfight with it, in the sense of taking on fighters and the like.
Well, I did the slashing attack thing, but I used all my boost to get to the zone, so I didn't have enough to run away.
Yeah. Okay, now the XP-67 may have come out of the airfield. You might have a better opportunity now. I think the XP-67's decided that they need the plant.
I think the score has decided that they need the plant.
That too. They're under pressure from the scoreboard, you're correct.
Let me see if I can get rid of this other player here.
If he head-on to you and you've got health, you win. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
He didn't head on me.
Where is he? Is he dead?
He's dead, I got him.
Oh, excellent. You got him and he didn't head on you.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Got a bomb, so I probably will use that now. Let's see if we can get this airfield.
Airfield achieved.
I've just dropped the bomb at exactly the wrong moment. Never mind.
Yeah, I've been there.
I should think I'll be too late, but there is just a chance I
The
can kill this bomber.
ME-329 keeps saying things in Spanish in the battle chat, and I'm like, buddy, I can't read Spanish.
Well, you should come to the EU server and see it all typed in Cyrillic then.
Oh gosh. I can't imagine.
Oh, I turned battle chat off. That's actually part of the reason I turned battle chat off, rather than just I don't want to see any abuse. It's just that a lot of it's in Cyrillic and it's unreadable. And I've got half a chance with French and Spanish and maybe a little bit of German, although not much chance. But the Cyrillic is just like, okay, no idea.
Well, NA chats are typically a lot friendlier than EU chats.
Yes, I would say so. So if we go into settings and we look at flight. Right, so let's just scroll down. Battle interface, camera, navigation, chat. Increase throttle, decrease throttle there. That actually isn't what I was talking about. But you can see that there are keys to increase and decrease throttle rather than just activate boost. Mm-hmm. And you can see I haven't even got them mapped.
Yeah.
Having said that, that means what old Grandad says is actually relevant. If you could map an increase and decrease throttle button, and I'm not sure where I would put it because I'm using a half keyboard, so I would rapidly run out of buttons. You could, in theory, use these to control your throttle incrementally or decrementally. Yep. If there are any mouse and keyboard players out there that do it, I'd love to hear from you because I've never used this facility. Okay, go on.
I was just going to say, if you're able to successfully make use of the throttle controls on a keyboard, that's impressive in my opinion.
Yeah, I would be impressed too. Okay, so British heavies, Blenheim probably falls into the category of pseudo ground attacker. Pretty good ordnance, not very very slow. And very, well, I say very slow, quite slow and definitely very slow to climb. Not really a true air superiority heavy. Bowfighter, either version, but particularly the one with the ordnance, much the same. In fact, the ordnance is fantastic. You really do want to go attacking the ground in this one. It's got a very good turret as well.
Oh, Q. Nova says that he has manual control over throttle mapped, but he rarely uses it.
Okay, the fact that he's even got it mapped, I find surprising. But yeah, I hear what he says about not using it. So let's go to the heavies here because I don't have them all on this account. So the Bowfighter, again, very heavy on the ordnance, pretty slow climb rate, not an air superiority heavy, even though there's the Bowfighter 5 in the game without the ordnance and an even better turret. Not a classic air superiority heavy, even though that one doesn't have the ordnance. But if you want the air superiority element, then the Bowfighter 5 premium is the way to go. Mosquito, again, heavy on the ordnance, not really your classic air superiority heavy. It's surprisingly slow considering this plane wiped the floor with the ME-410 in real life. In this game, the ME-410 is a mortal threat, and virtually any other heavy is a mortal threat to this Mosquito. But if you can get the outground ordnance going up to important sectors, plants and the like, it'll work. Hornet is faster and better. This one, it's beginning to cross over a bit. You can sort of use it as an air superiority heavy. The big problem with all of these heavies so far is that their maneuverability is pretty poor, even for a heavy. But again, heavy ordnance load, so you've still got that capability of dual threat. P1056, again, dual threat. Lots of usable ordnance. The guns are a bit awkward because you've got heavily mixed armament. But if you're sitting behind a bomber, for instance, this thing will take down... The P1056 is probably the most potent heavy for taking down B-29Cs because the weaponry can really deal a lot of damage quickly. Pretty much the same with the P228, except that the armament's an awful lot better. You've still got lots and lots of rockets, so you've still got this ground attacking capability, but the guns are all of one type and they're heavy hitting. Many people's favourite British heavy, I would suggest the P228, because of its flying characteristics. Again, not greatly manoeuvrable, not greatly fast, but a very hard hitter, and you've got the ordnance. And then things completely change with the Javelin. You have no ordnance on the Javelin. It is a pure air superiority heavy. It has a massive hit point pool, which makes it good for going after bombers. It has lots of boost, which means you can even, if you want to, chase an XF-90 to the edge of the map. Although beware of doing that because the XF-90 is probably kiting you out of sensitive regions and taking you out of the game for a long time.
Just beware.
The guns,
the Javelin can't hit the broadside of a barn.
The guns, I was about to say, you need to know where the convergent point is. If you fire when you know are at the convergence point, which is a fairly tight window to be truthful, the guns are pretty good, but outside of that and inside of that, the guns you'll probably miss with one set of wing-mounted guns, and a lot of people don't like the guns on the Javelin. Personally, I love them because I know where to shoot. If you want, you can set it up as a bomber killer, in which case you'll probably take cockpit armor, but I'm moving away from that idea now and probably using the Javelin. I would build it for maneuverability and try and fling it about the sky, combat heavies. The big problem with this compared to the XF-90 is that because of that gun problem, taking out small targets with the Javelin is an awful lot harder than it is with, for instance, the XF-90. And it's actually a bit harder than it is even with the ME-262 HG3.
Yeah, I was about to say,
has...
the HG3 just has not been a part of this conversation at all.
So the HG3, at least the guns are nose mounted, but the problem is they're wide dispersion, very low velocity bullets. Quite different challenge to the Javelin, though. But yeah, the Javelin, I love it to bits, but yeah, a lot of people are going to find the guns quite difficult, and it is distinctly different from the preceding aircraft. Hope that helps you, Avro Arrow. So basically, up to tier 6.5, they're not really air superiority planes. You want to be concentrating on using the ordnance to maximum effect, and then they start blending over so that they've got the dual threat of being both an air superiority heavy, but although not a quick one, with pretty good armament, but also good ordnance. And then at tier 10, you have no ordnance, and you have pure air superiority and a big hit point pool.
I think Nova just summed the three up perfectly. The XF90 is a shredder, the Javelin is a metal club, and the HG3 is a hollow club.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I can see exactly where he's going with that, and understand the
Honestly,
the
I think
comparison.
if they had kept the air-to-air rockets on the HG3 like the other 262s had preceding it, I think it would be in a better place.
I think it would be a much more deadly threat than it is. That said, I think it can be learned, and it can be made to be pretty effective in skilled hands. But it is a tricky plane, that's for sure.
Like I've been trying to get used to it right now because I've dubbed this term hangar decorations for aircraft that look cool but I don't fly hardly ever. And both the HG2 and the HG3 count as hangar decorations for me. And I'd like them to not be, but at the same time, they're like, I can't get consistent results with either of them.
Just keep tinkering with the setup until you find the one that works for you. Funnily enough, your description of them as hangar decorations plays very well into my horse. This morning I was with my horse, everybody, doing worm counts. I'm not going to describe what that entails. But my horse has been retired for 12 years because he developed a problem with his leg, side bone and ring bone, for those of you who are equine-minded. So he was retired quite early. And because he was retired, he has ever since been a field ornament. So you have hangar ornaments from my point of view.
I think Nova agrees with my statement about the HG3, considering he said the word yes 3 times in chat.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who performs consistently well in an HG3 knows what they're doing in the game, that, in my opinion. Certainly Ikaboo, who is the person who introduced this game to me and has since become a WG employee and now is in tanks. He was originally in planes. Flat out declared it to be the worst Tier 10 aircraft.
No, you and Corvus have not converted me, not yet anyway. Because I still have issues with both of those airplanes.
I don't know if Sergeant Zach's around. I suspect he probably isn't, but Sergeant Zach is in this game.
Sergeant
in a B-29C.
Oh, lovely. I love how we're talking about all the heavy fighters, and neither of us are in the... Oh, and there's Nova!
And they're not in a flight as well. They've actually dropped into the same battle. If Sergeant Zach is around, and Nova, if you're in contact with him, tell him I'm waving at him across the internet.
I mean, you could just send a salute in the battle chat. That would be just as equivalent.
We'll do that at the end if we win. Because I'm pretty pretty grungy on that kind of thing. I'm also going to say, Nova, you know that guy in the Focke Wulf 190D? Make sure you shoot him down a lot. Make him gnarly.
Like, shoot the 190, ignore me, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I don't know what you're flying, actually. You're in the 190, okay. Shoot the other 190. Oh, die!
Command center flips.
Should be getting the airfield soon if we can just land a few shots on these J4Ms. You know how the J4Ms can be.
Yeah.
You sort of seem to be shooting through their tailplane all the time.
I hate the J4M ADAs. I hate them. I hate them because they're multi-role aircraft filling in the role of a heavy when the Japanese have heavy fighters now. And their hitboxes are just whack.
Yeah, they are a bit hard to hit. Good afternoon, Clausewitz. Also, Bippity. Saw you on the server early this morning, the NA server, Bippity. I was messing around with the, funny enough, the battle screen that you've just seen. Talking of a Focke Wulf 190.
I do love the guns on this plane. For all of the issues I have with it, the guns are great.
Yeah, it's a horizontal boom and zoomer, really. Oh, will you connect Q? Do I want to chase that? I'm not sure I do, actually.
I almost flipped that entire frickin' airfield myself, but those J4M bots.
They are annoying, aren't they?
It's like I was shooting through the one of them.
Yeah, that's the dislikable thing about them.
Enemy bombers inbound.
You can be shooting and shooting away, and you just seem not to be hitting them.
Well, Lord willing, that bomber flight flying in will flip the rest of the zone for me. So I am now on the other side of the map.
And Nova has got a problem. He's come after me twice, and then the P-82's latched onto him.
I'm actually going to go to their command center because we're about to lose ours, and about to.
Gonna try.
We have lost ours.
Okay, we've just got their airfield.
Great.
To compensate. I should pick up repairs, and I'll go to our command center.
Oh, I love this new dive.
It does feel more... I'm not sure nimble's the right word. It feels more alive, doesn't it, the plane?
It feels like I actually have some level of control, when before I felt like I was flying it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're wading through... It doesn't feel like you're wading through treacle anymore. I see you're on night shift, Biffity. That sounds like it's a permanent arrangement. Well, a long-term arrangement, anyway.
Come on, Zero, break off your turn. There we go, got it.
Good. I'm going to need some help with ground targets here. I don't know if I'm going to get that from anybody, but the last ADA is about to go down.
That
there it goes.
should be enough.
Somebody's flipped into a K6. Nova has flipped into a K6.
Ouch.
Wow, we're about to lose both airfields.
Our airfield is under enemy control. We need to
Yep.
retake the initiative.
That couldn't have been any worse timing.
Well, I find it very odd, actually. Right, let's deal with Nova. Yeah, he's kiting me out.
And the heavy fighter stole my kill on the pancake. How rude.
Okay, started the process of recapturing this.
I'm in the process of flipping this garrison.
Oh, I've got a Yak 3 on my tail and I've got no boost.
Hang in there. You'll soon be cut off from
Wow, we didn't take our command center after I set it up.
be available.
You know, our command center, which is still red. I killed all of the ADAs over there at least a minute or two ago,
Yeah.
and they still haven't taken it.
Wow.
In fact, they've gone backwards. I'll have to go over there and get that. That's really crippled us, because that should have been flipped a minute and a half ago. Yeah, they've allowed the ADAs to respawn, and the ADAs have shot an aircraft down here.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make my way to the other command center then.
You're on
And
your own.
Yep.
Maybe by the time I get there, I'll have my
Enemy is
ordnance
about
back.
to win. Push harder.
This is kind of falling apart all around us, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's all because they didn't take this command. The bots didn't take this command center. I teed it up for them as best I could, and they just didn't take it. I've had to come back here to take it. Okay, and we never took the airfield that I started capturing either. You see this occasionally.
It just goes to show you can't rely on your bots for crap.
No, you can't. You absolutely cannot rely on the bots. Sometimes your bots just seem to be away with the fairies. Okay, it's got that. BVP. Oh, crikey, we've lost another sector. I mean, to be fair, we have actually got B-29C against us, haven't we?
I'd say considering that we've done quite well. I mean, I'm down here. I'm just down.
Turn off the aircraft I'm going for because I'm being harassed.
Considering we're low tier against the B-29, I'd say we did all we could.
Yeah, I mean, I keep on saying it. The B-29C is a game wrecker. I'm not sure what happened to the P-82B either. I don't know whether he quit or whether he got shot down after score line. With that score, I think it was after the score line.
I think he got hit after squall line and then disconnected. But no, last I saw him, he was turn fighting the pancake in the middle.
What's P-82B pancake? Yeah, you should be able to do that quite easily.
Yeah, he should have been able. Yeah, but I'm the one that came in and got the pancake low.
Unresponsive bots, unheard of, says Bippity. Yes, I know what you mean. They're always on point and doing what they should be excellently at all times, aren't they?
Yeah, Nova, I figured you took out the P-82. He was trying to be cheeky, huh?
Yeah, to be fair, I did see the P-82 going like a bat out of hell after a Nova when he was in the 302.
Yeah.
So I can easily understand why he would want to get rid of him.
Anyway, what tier would you like to fly, Q?
You've got tier 8 German premiums, haven't you?
Yes.
Then find yourself a tier 8 German premium if that's what you want to do.
Sure. I've got, let's see, tier 8. I've got two. I've got the 229 and the Arrow. Both of which are actually pretty good to put Emma in because they're very capable of taking advantage of that extra dive. Nova says GG and that you are a very interesting pilot to dogfight, Q.
Oh, interesting as in I don't do what anybody else would do. So like, what? What on earth is he doing now? I mean, he was using the 302 against me absolutely perfectly. He was coming in for strafing runs and buzzing off using that plane's enormous acceleration very quickly. He was just unlucky because he did it the second time, and that's when the P-82 jumped on him. And of course, he wasn't getting away from that. And then against the K6, the K6 doesn't have the maneuverability that my G does. So
I find that odd that the K6 has less maneuverability than the G. It doesn't feel that way.
By some considerable stroke.
It genuinely doesn't feel that way whenever I go up against those different airplanes. I don't know, maybe it depends on who's set up for who.
Erica, how jolly nice to see you on a Sunday. How did yesterday go? Incidentally, if you're joining, you can see this loading screen is custom built. It's been flung together. I had no idea about changing loading screens this morning. It hadn't even crossed my mind until I was having a conversation with a friend, and then had that conversation, and this is the result. I've thrown this together. And as I say, if anybody can actually get the inspiration for the design, I know it's fairly minimal, but if anybody gets the inspiration for the design, brownie points are on offer. Oh, great! Am I allowed to ask where the piercing was, Erica? And you watch college football, obviously, because NFL's today, and it was Thursday. One of these days I will get into college football. I suppose as a Briton it's fairly surprising that I know as much about NFL as I do. But college football's a bit of a mystery to me.
I will go ahead and say college football fans are more loyal and more excited than NFL fans.
Yeah, I can understand that quite easily. I'm going to go to the middle.
I'm going to go to the left.
Okay.
I grew up in a house that was obsessed with college football. My entire state is actually obsessed with college football. We like that. We care about that more than we care about the NFL.
I can easily understand that. I mean, we have a similar phenomenon in the UK with the football, soccer, as you would call it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just cartilage, isn't it? That part of the ear, Erica. So I'm guessing that isn't too painful? Or would I be completely wrong about that? Anyway, it sounds... I'm not sure whether I should say it sounds exciting. It does sound exciting, and I'm pleased for you. I say that as somebody who has no piercings and no tattoos. The 80 can be a deadly threat to me. I want to get rid of this big 32. Yeah, Erica's saying that her family care much more about college football than NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not surprised. I can tell you now, I'm not surprised at all. I think you can probably generate a lot more community feeling than you can out of a rather distant NFL team.
Well, you've also got school rivalries as a factor as well.
Of course, you've got absolutely true rivalries as opposed to some of the more manufactured rivalries in the NFL.
Oh, according to Nova, if you put Emma in a K6 with a lightweight power unit and aerodynamic expert skill, it matches the Mustang.
I think it would exceed a Mustang, personally. I've actually had the K6 up to... I think the rating is 78, and I haven't squeezed the maximum out of it yet. The rating is 78, and I think the turn time is 9.7 seconds. And I think there's a little bit more... No, actually, you probably couldn't get more than that in terms of turn time. I'm not sure if I could finesse some other aspects of the manoeuvrability. But 78 is high for a K6. And on the NA server, you probably would encounter BF109Gs that had similar manoeuvrability. Because I play on the EU server, my BF109G is built for manoeuvrability, and I've carried that over here as well. So it's actually still more manoeuvrable than a K6, but on the whole you probably encounter Gs that you could easily dispose of the K6.
Yeah, Nova says he's got his built more for speed than for turning.
Okay. Again, NA server, I would probably do the same, and on the EU server I'd go for a turn build.
The only reason my Mustangs are turn builds is because the K6 exists. Genuinely.
Yeah, do you know, I'm unable to comment because I don't know what the K6, off the top of my head, the K6's diving capability, and of course this is something else, isn't it? If you put Emma in there, you've got better dive on the K6. I don't know what the diving capability of the K6 is versus a Mustang or a P-51 anyway. But just off the top of my head, I think I never tried it. P-51D built with turning. That'd be a tight run thing between that and the K6.
I'd have to look at my numbers again, but with the lease in the cockpit and the build I'm running, I think I have a turn rating of 85.
On your P-51H or P-51D?
P-51D.
Well, that's much higher than I was expecting. Okay.
That rivals some, like, stock Spitfires, right?
Yes. Yes, and it will outturn a K6 under any circumstances if you know what you're doing.
Oh, that Typhoon's low. Got a few hits on it. Great.
Ooh, rotten shooting. Oh, I'll leave that to you.
That must take probably pull surprise on the Votskins.
Great job today.
I've outturned things that I could have swore I wouldn't have outturned in that thing.
That's interesting, Bogey. Very good question. So on the EU server, I was pretty careful to train up where line split and having premiums. I would actually go to the effort of training up pilots, 2 of them for a line split, so I'd have 2 equally good pilots that I could pop into the next aircraft. One of them would be the pilot that was being used in the parent aircraft, as it were, and I'd have another one equally well trained alongside it. A lot of work, as you can imagine. To be fair, on the NA server, I don't bother. I just start with a 1-point pilot. I've got to the stage now where I'm good enough, not brilliant, but good enough to be able to cope with having a poor pilot in a plane.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So your choice again?
I'm trying to think about where I have German premiums.
I didn't know that, Erica. I mean, obviously, having never had a piercing or a tattoo, I don't know where the pain points are. So that is fairly painful to have the helix of the ear done. Okay.
Would you be good for some 5, actually?
Of course I would. Yeah, I'm here to help you, actually. I'm very happy to fly around in almost anything.
Let me just put my Horton pilot back in there, and then swap out my 210 pilot for Emma.
Yeah, I mean, Bogey, I think it's probably worth preparing 2 pilots. Plan ahead and prepare a couple of pilots so you don't have that disadvantage. Don't get me wrong, it is a disadvantage to have a low-skill pilot in a plane. It's just that I just don't bother these days. Having already done it on the EU server, I just don't really feel like going through it for the NA server.
I mean, for the longest time, I would just get the free version of the pilots because I didn't want to spend the extra credits. But now that I have, you know, millions of credits in my account, I go for the 90% training, just so that way I don't have to sit with a 0 to 100% pilot for too long.
Yeah, the hair tangled in the stud. I can imagine that. My niece is a tattooist, although she may have had to move on because she's now getting into her 40s, handshaking, that kind of thing. But her designs were fantastic, and she's got a lot of body coverings. What's your favourite design that you've got, Erica? Oh, my niece's work is fantastic. I mean, as I say, I'm speaking as someone who's never had a piercing or a tattoo, and I absolutely think her body art is fantastic. Okay.
Oh, Sergeant Zach.
You are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
Which is in a BF-109E. Very powerful aircraft.
Yep, so he is clearly the biggest stat on the enemy team.
And airfield.
And there's an airfield.
Do you What do you want to do? Do you want to go concentrate on garrisons whilst I have a dip at the airfield?
Sure.
Or would you like to do it differently?
I'll go garrisons. I'm fine with that.
Yep. I'm sort of playing it both ways in case the airfield falls. Which, with a couple of BF-109s in there, and we have no... Oh, well, we'll see. We've got a Key 43-1C, would you believe?
That has the potential to do work.
Well, if they let it turn with them, it will do great work.
Yeah, that if they let it.
Yeah. And we've also got a Key 43, the standard version, so we've got a pair of very manoeuvrable planes. It's just that they're made of paper,
And dreams.
and I simply wouldn't let them turn on me.
Alright. Garrison flex.
Good, keep on doing that.
Be advised, the enemy is concentrating forces
Yeah,
near
even
the
though I've just
airfield.
killed an ADA, they've flipped the middle. I'm not at all surprised. Right, we're going to concentrate on garrisons at the moment. I'll go and take our other one.
Yeah, it might be wise for us to focus on garrisons because neither of us really have the maneuverability to attack that airfield cleanly.
It would be good to have friends there. We're slightly hampered because I don't know what the fighters do. Oh, P-143C declined to go to the airfield. That's why we didn't have that advantage.
Oh, I feel like we might have had a chance had he gone.
Well, yes, we would have. I think the other one may have gone. He got shot down. Sergeant Zach is chasing me.
Now we'll do wave to him.
Let's just put the nose down. He's on half health, so it'd be nice if something killed him. Is it Sergeant Zach? Oh no, I'm wrong. It was the BF-109B that was chasing me. I beg
the
your
other one,
pardon,
okay.
Sergeant Zach. Yeah.
Well, that's worrisome. Then that means we don't know where Sergeant Zach's at.
Sergeant Zach is actually over this garrison that I'm at.
Oh. Okay.
So that's a bit disappointing that we can't take the airfield when neither of their BF-109s are in the airfield.
Looks like we almost have the airfield, but
They've actually done to us what we should have been doing to them. They do have a Heinkel. I'm going to have to go and find that Heinkel bomber, I think.
they're both. If the map's right, they're both over the south.
Yeah, they're split up. The Heinkel may be at extreme height. The problem with this plane is it's actually it's not extreme height, it's just bombing low. Okay, I've got him. This is not the greatest plane for taking out bombers.
Well, this is this is still a light fighter dominated tier here. Like, don't let what Corvus says blind you. The 109E and the P40 are the kings of the skies in this tier.
They could still make a big difference. Oh, poor Sergeant Zach, he got stabbed in between the two of us there, didn't he? Oh, go away, Focke Wulf.
I saw my opening. I'm too far away to actually catch that thing.
Yeah, he's he set me on fire.
Yeah. Rough.
What an annoyance.
That's a bit rough there, buddy.
Which garrison shall I go for?
Oh, well, I found Sergeant Zach.
Yeah, we need to defend the airfield. Let's do that first. Oh, how have we just lost 2 sectors?
Sergeant Zach showed up.
No, 2 sectors.
No.
2 sectors in quick. We were 3-2 up, and suddenly we've gone 4-1 down.
No idea, honestly.
Okay, go off and take the other sector. Crikey. I've just killed 2 aircraft at the airfield and we're still on the verge of losing it.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can retake this garrison here since I'm right here. And the 88s have just spawned. Hi, 110B.
Our 2 fighters are making no impact on this battle.
We are making 0 forward progress.
Yeah,
And
that's
I just
because
had
our
my
2.
wing crit.
Yeah, our two fighters are doing nothing. I know they're down tiered, but they're actually score. Funny enough, the 1C is outscoring the standard tech tree one with the good guns.
But the 1C is crap.
Yeah, but he's I wouldn't say he's got a great score.
Oh,
but
hi 109B.
the 43 has got a terrible score.
So both of my wings are crit.
Doing all of this work. Get away! You're dead. I'm doing all of this work. I haven't used my ordnance yet. Right there.
Support will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over.
What's that bomber? There's a bomber there.
Enemy is about to win. Push harder.
Oh, you're after the bomber. That's the bot bomber, is it?
Yeah,
oh, I
it's
found
the bot.
Yeah. We've lost that sector already again.
Oh, I found Sergeant Zach.
Okay, he's got.
He's going right. Well, he was going right towards you.
Okay, he's gone. But he's going to come back, unfortunately.
Oh, there's a 110B here.
That must be a bot.
Yep.
There's a heavy storm here. Unable to proceed. Return into base. Do you copy?
Let's kill this.
Zone flipped.
Good. Oh, stop shooting me! You're dead!
I hate how long it takes for the game to realize, oh hey, this thing needs to blow up now.
It kills them off one by one. If you're unlucky, you can still get shot for 3 or 4 seconds after the zone's flipped.
The 109B is down. I have
Okay.
Sergeant Zach on my tail. Which is
Where are you?
Fly
Fly towards me.
North side of the airfield.
Fly towards me.
Flying your way.
He's broken off. I think because he saw me coming.
Yeah. Wouldn't blame him, honestly.
Taken over the forward
But in
area.
breaking off, he's had to concede the airfield. That's good news.
There's a 110B getting on your tail.
Right, yeah, I've got to break it as well because Sergeant Zach used a mountain. Got 2 of them on me. Are you anywhere?
Yeah, got
Able
Sergeant
to help?
Zach. Got Sergeant Zach.
Perfect.
That 110 though, I couldn't get to him in time.
Attention, all aircraft.
Oh, well, we weren't going to win anyway. Actually, the 43 1C came out with a fairly decent score there in the end, but the 43, the standard one, scored less than 3,000. It's just no use at all, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I would have given us a very good chance of winning that battle, but unfortunately, the 2 fighters, one of them eventually posted a reasonable score, but he was very slow to get started, and the other one just didn't compete at all, unfortunately.
I was able to use the bonus dive speed from Emma to catch up to Sergeant Zach at the end there, but by the time I had gotten to Zach, the other heavy fighter that was on your tail was out of my gun range.
Did you ever find the HE-112? Was I only ever found him once?
No.
He did a good job of evading us.
Never found him.
really good job of evading us then, because I just didn't find him more than once.
Yeah, I never saw that guy.
Okay, you did a really good job then.
What tier would you like to fly?
Let's try tier 6.
Tier 6?
A Porg. Wow. Erica, I'd love to see that, but obviously that could be tricky. So, but it sounds fantastic.
Let me throw,
Yeah, the P40 is very strong. 109E is better, as everybody knows who plays on the EU server, and the P40 is better, as everybody knows who plays on the NA server.
I think objectively the P40N is better than both.
If you're talking about the same tier aircraft, Mortania, I would suggest the P1056. Did I say 6? Let's go 6.
Yeah, you did say 6.
I'll get some training into Emma myself now.
Mm-hmm. This is my only premium.
Oh dear,
Tier 6.
a double Spitfire flight. This is not going to go well.
At least we have the. At least we have decent altitude. The
I'm a
only
little bit
problem is the
disappointed.
Hispanos in the wings.
It was an enjoyable battle. I mean, we were a bit hampered by our fighters being. Well, one of them picked it up and did okay in the end, but he started off slowly. The other one was struggling.
Ironically enough, the one with the worst guns was the one that actually picked it up a bit.
Yeah. Still, nobody's got the design inspiration for my battle loading screen. I'm not too surprised, actually, but we'll see if anybody can work it out. What you have to understand, comprendre, it's very difficult to kill a B-29C, especially one that's been built for strength. It's got too many hit points in the first place, and you can add too many as well. And that's why I tend to describe it as a battle wrecker. It's not the Benny Hill show. I am not a Benny Hill fan. Anything but a Benny Hill fan, in fact. Oh, this is a bad map for us.
Is it a bot game? I haven't loaded it in yet.
Yeah, it's a full bot game. Bad map.
Ooh. Mining plant in the middle.
You are approaching the area of combat.
Oh, you know that, Bibbity. I've said before. Okay. Well, thank you for poking a raw nerve then.
Yeah.
How about one of us go low into the plant and one high?
Sure. I'll go high.
Okay, I'll go low. So I'm going for grand attackers and whatnot, and you're going for see if you can take out bombers.
Yep. I'm gonna
Okay.
harass the bombers.
Super. Key 43 is always an uphill battle. You need.
Show me what you can do, pilots. Let's roll.
What caught my eye in there? You heard me saying in that battle that both BF-109s had left the airfield. Really, the Key 43s, if they'd been in position, and I don't know that they were, that was their moment. Because with their manoeuvrability, they could have shot down multiple ADAs. One of them reasonably quickly, one of them a bit more slowly, obviously. But that was their moment, but they never got on top
If
of
I
the
was in
airfield.
my P-36, like, if both the 109s left the airfield, I would have been able to take huge advantage of that in that fight.
Yep.
And it's not nearly as maneuverable as either of the Japanese aircraft.
Nope.
It's maneuverable, but not that maneuverable.
I actually don't think it's that manoeuvrable.
Oh, you just don't know how to fly it.
It must be true.
Because everyone knows the P-36 is the best tier 4 light fighter.
if you're on the NA server, and if you're not on the NA server, everybody knows that there's an alternative truth. Okay, we've turned that round nicely.
Yeah, one bomber down. The other one's left the zone. I don't know if he's going to turn back in. He's not.
He will. Just give it time, he will.
Okay, yeah, he is, isn't he?
That's learning bot behaviour. Oh, what's left there that... Oh, the chimney's actually real. I thought the chimney was one of those false chimneys. There we go. 80 points. I've just flipped. I've just taken out the power plant.
Oh, nice.
And it wasn't just chimneys either. I actually took out the power plant cooling towers. A cooling tower as well. Okay. So that you can get
right in front of me.
Actually, to be fair, we're both trying to train Emma, so I'll leave you to the heavy fighter. You can feast on that, but I am going to go off and see if I can find other things to do.
I'm going to go across the map to that garrison.
Okay.
Since you're already heading in the direction of the airfield. I only have 2 Spitfires, and of the 2, this is the one I enjoy because I can actually climb in this one.
Yeah, I tend to say that tier for tier, this is a candidate for being the best Spitfire in the game.
Also, the more interesting Spitfire of the lot.
I will say I've come to regret the lack of altitude performance in the Spitfires as I've played this game more and more.
I mean, it makes sense because of the elliptical wings. Like, aerodynamically, they stall earlier than every other wing shape. So, thinking of it in that sense, it absolutely makes sense that the Spitfires do not go as high as some of the other aircraft in this game. Right? That makes sense. I just find it really, I find it disappointing.
I think in the context of the NA server, which isn't heavy on turn fighting at any tier, yeah, the Spitfires are going to be regarded as easy planes to fly, but not very potent. Even on the EU server, I don't play them very much these days. Used to play them quite a lot.
Well, the ironic thing is, it didn't actually used to be that way, according to Ray. According to Ray, it's like Spitfire 1 used to be like the meta, and then the P-40, after the machine gun buff, just proved to be a superior airframe, so all the Spitfire players went to the P-40.
I think the P-40, provided you knew how to use its altitude and speed, would have always been a big threat for a Spitfire.
Mm-hmm. Any energy fighter, if you know how to get a bad Spitfire player to stall out, you're set.
Yeah.
There's a reason a lot of people call Spitfires nuke fires.
Well, they are very easy to fly. They're pretty good at most things.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not excellent at anything.
Yep, and they're not even really true turn and burn fighters because they're faster than most of the other ones to a small extent.
Oh, I don't know about that. You can get many of the Spitfires up to a very, very high manoeuvrability rating. In fact, one of the highest manoeuvrability ratings in the game is on the Spitfire 1A, if you have Charles Donovan.
I do have him in that plane, yeah. The drawback with that plane is it just has the 303s only.
It's a bloody good job it only has 303s. If it had cannons as well, it would be a monster with Charles Donovan in it.
You know, I've told people that I plan to go down every line, and I think the Spitfires are going to be one of the last ones. Because, in my opinion, they all fly the same, and so it's going to be very boring until, like, the attacker at Tier 9.
I think that's pretty much true, actually, in terms of the flight model, flight plan, whatever you want to call it. It's just...
Gameplay-wise, they're all basically identical.
Yeah, I can't really think of one that's bucks the trend.
Like, even the German Spit, it bucks the trend by having good altitude, but it's still just a Spitfire. It just does Spitfire things higher up in the air.
Which plane is that?
The Messerspit? The one we're in right now?
Yep.
There's a heavy storm here. Unable to proceed. Return into base. Do you copy? Victory is in sight. Keep it up.
What's that behind me? It's the bomber. Take the heavy first. Did that heavy bomb get shot down? I don't think so. On your last damage, this is nearly done.
Working on it. Got him.
I'm proud of you, pilots.
Super. You only hurt the ones you love. Okay. What do you do to the ones you don't love? Bippity. Coming back to the B-29, Mortania, if you're whatever you're in, particularly if you're in heavy fighters with good firepower, B-29C, sort of try and come in at it like this, and then flip over and try and dive away from it like that. I'll do that from higher. So B-29C. Fighter in like this, flip over, dive away. Now, what you'll find is the B-29C pilot, who knows what he's doing, will turn away from you anyway and still try and shoot you with the guns. You can do it from below as well, but obviously that's a bit more difficult because you're then going more slowly. It gives more time for the B-29C to shoot you on the way up. So there are ways of countering B-29Cs. The problem is you have to peck at it unless you've got something with really good firepower, which is the 1056, unfortunately, is not very manoeuvrable, so that kind of manoeuvre is actually a little bit tricky for a 1056, but try it.
P-82B is a pretty good choice if you have it.
Yeah, that's got heavy firepower and lots of manoeuvrability. Coming in like that with the P-82B minimises the amount of damage you'll take from the turrets from the B-29C.
The problem is, like, maximizing your damage before the B-29 gets you out of that blind spot.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is really difficult when all the B-29 has to do is press one button.
Yeah, and also you'll find that anybody who knows this stuff in the B-29C will immediately begin turning so he can get his turrets on you.
Mm-hmm. It's difficult. I haven't been able to do it consistently.
It's a horrible plane. It's just a horrible plane. I wish they would do what's right for the game in terms of balancing the game and nerf it quite heavily. Okay, your choice. What's next?
My choice. Hang on. Let me check my...
Yeah, many B-29Cs aren't flown very well and they don't bomb very well. Those you can ignore. You're right, Bippity. In fact, actually, if you want a game, you might be better just ignoring them if you're in the wrong sort of plane entirely anyway and just concentrating on other things.
Speaking of Tier 8?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fly my Arrow and put Emma in there.
Okie dokie. Well, I might put a bit more work into the bomber then.
You know, just in case we run into a B-29.
Highly likely. Sergeant Zach, here's your call.
In my opinion, and I'm going to go further into detail when Corvus and I do our Period 3 premium review. We just recorded 2 videos talking about Period 2, and I'm working on editing the first one. But when I get into that, I'll go into more detail. But effectively, in my opinion, the B-29 either needs to have its defenses reduced or its health bar taken down. It's got too much of both.
Reasonable points, I would say. I don't want to figure your video, so I'm going to leave my comment to that.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that the Period 3 premium is going to probably be very long discussion because Tier 8 has a problem. Well, it's got 3 problems, and they're all premiums.
Oh, we do have some Sergeant Zach, but he's on our side.
Here's 2 of their problems right now.
You are entering the combat zone.
The P-61 and the XP-67.
I think the middle is a dead loss for me, frankly, with this bomber. Until those guys are somewhere else.
Well, if I go in with you with my own bombs, could we take it in one pass?
You are approaching the front line.
Let's try it. I'm game for it. We need to coordinate what we're doing. Which targets are you going to take?
Okay, tell me what you're going to go, because you've got the bigger bombs. Are you going to go for, like, that center target?
I'm going to take 1 gun emplacement, and I'll drop 3 on the middle.
Okay, I will drop some on gun emplacements and some tents, then. And hopefully, we'll flip it.
We shall see. Oh, I missed my bombing point. That's not helpful. Can you drop a bomb on the middle?
Yes. Well, I think every bomb missed.
Well, that did for us then.
Well, we tried. Can't say we didn't.
Yeah, I fouled up my bombing on the middle anyway. I can't really complain.
Oh, the P-61's chasing me.
And I've just killed the P-80A that was chasing me.
Oh, he knocked out my engine.
The problem is he can just keep chasing you to the corner of the map because he's got the boost to keep
so
up.
Much for dive acceleration.
You were saying that the P-61's on your side? Where were you? Because the P-61's just ran me out of the game. Out of curiosity, I'm going to go to the command centre and see if I can try and take it. Sergeant Zach's in a really nice plane, but the problem is he hasn't got the firepower to take out that P-61.
I think it's got equivalent firepower to the P-80, and I can take out the P-61 with the P-80.
No, not really.
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head the amount of firepower the goblins got.
It's pretty weak. I mean, it is machine guns, which people like, but it's not strong. Right, going to give that middle another go.
Oh, of course, as soon as I get here, they've taken it.
I wouldn't try defending in the Dornier if I were you.
No, I'm not. I was attacking the command center, but as soon as I got
see,
here...
it was contested, was it? Yeah.
As soon as I got here, they flipped it, and now I'm completely surrounded, which means I can't get out.
Yeah, the P-61 is just camping in the middle.
Obviously. That plane is an area denial zone.
Yep. Let's see if we can get this garrison.
Ironically enough, you have to be in something like a B-29 to steal that mining plant out from under the Not mining plant.
Well,
the
if you can see a
singles.
mining plant on this map, I'm not sure what map you're on.
They both start with the letter M, okay?
Yeah, okay. I misname the sectors all the time, don't worry. Okay, so I did get this garrison. P61 is continuing to camp in the middle, which makes it very difficult. So I'm going to go off to the command centre, which is
Yeah.
a fairly long flight for me.
What makes you feel any better, the P-80 that was over that command center is now over this garrison that I'm at.
Okay.
And I just set them on fire.
I found it pretty easy to shoot down, so that might be... I mean, obviously you haven't got a rear gunner, but it might be less of a threat than you think. The problem is we just can't get that blast in the middle. Ooh, actually, I think the P61's been shot down. I'm going into the middle.
Well, okay, I'm in trouble now because the P-80 got around on me and I can't.
Okay, we've actually flipped the middle because the P61 finally got shot out. I imagine that was Sergeant Zack who got him.
Potentially.
Yeah, I mean, even the P61 has a hit point pool, which can be whittled down. The problem is you just can't do it frequently enough.
It's so unfortunate they have a specialized P-80. That is a tough plane to deal with if you're not in the right aircraft.
Yep.
Which I am not. I mean, technically, yes, I can deal with it, but at the same time, it's like, if he gets on my tail, I'm dead.
Yeah. I mean, I've got the advantage of rear gunners, and I was able to shoot him down using the rear guns,
Well,
although I haven't got these,
The rear guns on the Tu-10 are insane.
except that I don't have the top guns.
Oh. Okay, yeah, then that's on him.
Can you... You've got... Oh, actually, don't go to the command centre. I've just noticed the military base is firing at it.
Our military base is launching strikes on the enemy. This will make things easier for you.
Oh, here comes that P-80 again. Damn it.
Take him to... At the very least, take him to the corner of the map.
Under our control. Communication with
Oh,
headquarters
Sergeant Zack cleared my tail. Thank you, Sergeant Zack.
Lost the middle again. Okay.
Oh, I'm getting lit up by a P-61 turret.
Cut off from support. I say again, support will not be available.
Soon about to face his front guns. At the very least, I can try and cause some chaos over this military base with some bombs.
Oh, shoot! I just dropped 3 bombs on that target.
Oh, oops. Both my wings are crit. I'm leaving the zone. There's no reason for me to stay there.
No. Never mind. Between us, we took it.
There's a heavy storm here. Unable to proceed. Return in
I don't know if the P61's out and can respawn, or whether he's just out, full stop.
He is still in the match.
Oh, he just respawned, he's lucky.
Got rid of one of their ground attackers, though, so that helps. I won't have bombs for another minute, so I don't know if I want to be over this command center or not.
You could think about finalising the garrison.
True, I am like right there. Come on, dive speed.
You could also get this Dornier off me.
Oh yeah, yeah, I could do that.
Keep it up. Victory is almost ours.
He's not in range. He's not in range. There he is.
Thank goodness I got the engine critical on him.
Oh, it flipped.
Hey,
20 seconds on bombs, so your health pool's not really looking that good.
no, well, the Dornier managed to get 3 shots into me, so that didn't help.
Yeah. Oh, the P-80 guy to AA guns.
Air supremacy achieved.
Super.
I think the P-61 is in the middle.
Won't do him any good now. Between us and Sergeant Zach, we've done a fine battle.
I'm proud of you, pilots. Head back home.
Oh! You can see me flying in the distance. I knew that was possible, but
Well played, Sergeant. If you're listening in, I don't know if you're listening in or not, but let's record it on the VOD.
Thanks for the save, Sergeant Zach. I think that's the best way to say it.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with the fact the bomber almost scoring a winged legend with a stock aircraft. Not that I'm bitter. Sergeant Zach did well there.
All right, it is your pick.
2 there. I'm just going to check whether we've got... oh, I can upgrade another turret. Excellent. Let's do the top turret then. Okay, that's 2 out of 3 I've now got upgraded. Super. Right, my pick, did you say?
Yep, your pick.
We haven't done any tier 10. We ought to. I know that doesn't help you with Emma, but...
I can do some tier 10. I can
Okay.
stick to the trend of just flying German planes, too, since that's what I've been doing all stream. It's not going to go well, but I can do it. I do have experimental long gun barrels on this plane, though, so that helps a little.
Yeah, I've given up on that now. I've gone for gas-operated action. Cleeks, who I don't think is here in my stream today, but Cleeks is a passionate advocate of long gun barrels. So you're in good company. But I've gone back to gas-operated. No, actually, I've gone to reinforced bulk carriers to increase the burst length.
I'm just modifying the build to try and make it work.
Yep.
It's not specialized, so I don't have all of the options. I'd like to specialize it so I could have all of my slots open so I can try and finesse this airplane into some usable state.
It is a difficulty. Stitch 626. Stitch X. I'm going to call you Stitch. You know who you are. First off, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for watching. Good game. Didn't think I'd get a game with a veteran at this game. Well, that's very kind of you to say that the videos have helped you. I'm pleased to hear that. That's what they're for. As everybody knows, and if you don't know, you're about to learn, I don't aim my videos at elite players of this game. For a start, I'm not an elite player. I aim my videos at people who are starting the game, want to improve their game. I point out things that they may not have thought of, and then they can incorporate into what their approach to the game, or not. They may reject it as an approach. And if they've helped you, I'm really pleased about that, Stitch. The one thing I would say is don't be rigid about what you've learned. My builds are not set in stone, and I change them over time, certainly for heavies. So if you find that something's not working for you, even though I've said this is what I like to do, don't hesitate to try something else. I've completely rebuilt my XF90s, for instance, in the last few months. Last few weeks, I would say, actually. And I now build them in a completely different way. Although, actually, my video on the XF90 is pretty good because it shows you 2 distinctly different builds. I've actually gone towards the second build of the XF90 that's shown in that video, or rather the build that's shown in the second battle.
It's been a while since I've seen the XF90 video. Did you do a speed and maneuverability build on that? Or?
So the first one is broadly speed, and then the second one is broadly maneuverability. But the key difference is in the pilot skills. I've also rejigged those over the last few weeks, and for me, the aircraft is an awful lot better because I've done that. So principally, I've dropped things like the Marksman 1 and 2, so I can actually have skill points for resilience and adrenaline rush.
You know, things that are better than Marksman 1 and 2.
Yes.
Because you don't always need Marksman 1 and 2.
For that plane, I would say unequivocally yes.
Wish I had some rockets on this plane.
Both ground attackers. Okay. I know there's a heavy going to be making an appearance soon, like now.
Really wish I had some rockets on this plane.
Should have the command center under control in a moment.
I set that bomber on fire so he blew up just on the edge of the mining plant so he didn't flip it.
Not to worry. We've got ourselves a 2-to-1 advantage at the moment, including the airfield. Byakuya-san, I was thinking about you this morning. In fact, I actually streamed Expeditions Rome yesterday as well. I think you've probably moved on now, but thank you for being here, and good to see you. Let's just do a quick shout out for Byakuya. There we go. You've timed taking the plant to perfection since we very nearly lost the airfield.
Oh, cool.
It's alright, don't worry about it.
The bots did that, by the way. I was trying to hunt for something, and
whilst you were busy elsewhere, the bots did your work for you. Yes, I know.
Yeah. Whilst I was busy, the bots did the job that they were supposed to do.
Ah, okay. Definitely not a given in this game.
I can't tell you how many times I have seen bots do the dumbest stuff.
I have begun to notice when I'm flying the XF-90, my bots, if there's an enemy player, my bots tend to perform really badly and make it difficult for me.
And honestly, I don't like complaining about the bots that much because everybody complains about the bots.
Yeah, I don't either.
Everybody
but
does. But
it catches my eye.
There's certain points in time where I'm like, holy crap, how are you programmed to be this dumb? You know? Like, sometimes you just have those moments.
There was a game I had this morning. I'm trying to remember what my opponent was in. I was in the XF-90. And he was basically in something that couldn't threaten me, some sort of fighter or some BBP-215, something like that. 5-sector map, 2 mining plants, military base in the centre, you know the one.
Right, yeah.
And basically I'm looking at it thinking, well, okay, that you're really unlucky here. I've got a huge advantage over you with the XF-90. My bots did absolutely nothing all game long. They took no sectors, they defended no sectors. I ended up losing to superiority. And the guy scored a third of what I scored and got the win. And it's at points like that you look at it and go, what just happened there?
Been there. And I don't like complaining about it publicly because it's like, hey, everyone's dealing with it, and it's like there's not really much that's gonna change because as far as wargaming is concerned, the bots are fine. So,
And also, nobody remembers the matches where their bots absolutely slay the opposition.
yeah, exactly. And no one complains about the bots when their team is doing well.
Yeah.
Everyone complains about the bots when,
Unless the game's ending too soon.
Yeah.
But apart from that, yeah.
And it's like the most biased series of complaints you can have in this game.
Air supremacy achieved.
Because if you're complaining about the bots, then that means that you lost a game that you thought you should have won otherwise. And sometimes
It's interesting.
And other times it's like, well, did you lose that game because of your bots, or did you lose that game because of a mistake you made? You know?
Is there some flaw in your approach to battles that allows this to happen? Right, okay, good stuff.
Because like,
Hello, Cleeks. Your ears must have been burning. I mentioned you a little bit earlier.
Victory is up.
you showed up too early. You needed to wait for your name to be mentioned 2 more times.
That's a good way of looking at it, Bippity. It's a gamble factor in the game. Sometimes you just draw the short straw with the bots that seem to be brain dead or having tea and cucumber sandwiches in the corner.
Like I've seen bot ground attackers try and fight like they're heavy fighters.
Oh yeah, we've seen that before. And also loiter over sectors so they can be shot down and allow the enemy to flip them more quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your choice.
My choice.
You just like the background voices here. There are many reasons to watch streams, Radiant, so I'm glad that you've found one. Welcome, welcome. A little birdie told me that...
Let's go back to 7.
So, I'll just put in the context for you, Cleeks. F-22 Hunter's just flown the ME-262 HG3 and has said that he has mounted long gun barrels, whereupon I said I've moved away from those. I now mount reinforced bolt carriers, but that he was in good company because you, Cleeks, I am sure, have got long gun barrels on your ME-262 HG3. That's a tier 7. I'm sure I heard you say 6, so I'm getting old and daft, obviously.
Yeah, I did. I went to 7, and I primarily went here because I wanted to check the maneuverability on my Mustang. It is indeed 85.
Interesting. That's very impressive, actually.
I have a lease. I have an experimental lightweight wing frame that's 470, and I have a lightweight power unit that's also at 470. I'm sure I could get that number higher if I had like an experimental lightweight power unit I could throw on.
Wow. Right, so I really ought to compliment that with something else. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I will fly the P-51.
Because
I'm a long way from 85 maneuverability, though, that's for sure.
Because the stream is Emma Vogel, just putting points on Emma Vogel.
Excuse me whilst I snack on some chocolate.
It's like, put points on Emma Vogel's stream and try not to have any audio issues because the aux cord between my computer and my headset is going bad.
No!
So annoying. And I know when it's having an issue because the audio is only on one side of my headset. It's the most infuriating thing.
That's just it, Cleats. I can't. It's something to do with the lack of vision in the right eye. I can't hit at distance. I'm much better being able to have a longer burst length so I can adjust the aim. Different strokes for different folks. Specialised spit, that means the middle's probably out of the question for me. Unless I time it correctly. And they've got a ground attacker.
Oh, well, that's fun. Now, if I shift the port the wrong way, it just cuts all audio completely. That's fun.
Show me what you can do, pilots. Let's roll.
Alright, I'm gonna make a run at this first radar station for the command center.
I don't know if you picked up on that, but Cleats has confirmed that he uses long gun barrels on the ME-262 as well.
I figured he did.
Yep. No surprise to me either. Looks like their Spitfire may know what he's doing.
Considering they took the airfield immediately.
Yep. And he's the heaviest scorer.
Whoop, didn't mean to ping that. I didn't think I could ping with right click, but I guess I can. Oh, unfortunately, the Spitfire's in front of me.
Oh, shoot him then.
Well, he lived up to his name. Kamikaze.
Rammed you?
Yeah.
Military base is
I
ours.
thought my guns would
Carry out a
be
strike.
strong enough to take him out before we collided.
Mm,
But,
yeah, I don't know what health you were on, but yeah, I'd say you were a bit unlucky.
like, just really, really, really unlucky kind of situation there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you shot around him a bit, but I would have expected to be able to take out a Spitfire. Depends on how close the engagement was when you started shooting him, of course, but...
There was a bit of a distance. So I think I shot a Spitfire-sized hole in the sky a bit.
Yeah, I kind of would have expected you to be able to kill him. It's one of those things, RNG, blah, 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 that kind of thing.
Okay, I just watched a 410 ram right into a B-17.
Yeah, that doesn't help. That's almost like enemy assistance, that, isn't it?
This isn't even the good airfield.
Nope. No repairs for you. You're not the one I want.
Alright, airfield flipped. We really do not want them to have this airfield.
Right, I'm going to sod off out of the... If I can, I'm going to sod off out of the military base because the Spitfires come here to try and get me out.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to make it out of the sector. Ooh, I may not have, actually. Okay, time to go for their command centre.
Yeah, so there's 4 enemy planes over that military base. I don't think it's likely we're gonna hold it.
That is an estimation I would have made as well, so I think it's better to try and make sure we get their command centre.
Sure, I'm gonna go ahead and start making a pass now.
I I would gamble that the Spitfire will go back to the airfield.
I mean, that is kind of where he's in his element, isn't it?
Yep.
One and an F on my tail. Thank you.
Anymore.
Command center.
Stupa.
I will say, the stall speed reduction, I can notice it.
Take action.
Okay, so you are noticing positive effects. Hello, Andy. How are you? Good to see you.
Like,
Yeah, weekend's been excellent so far. Even got the horse worm count done quickly this morning.
like usually when I would fly the 190, I could feel the aircraft bleeding speed whenever I'd go in any kind of incline. And that's not happening anymore.
Yeah, you weren't there during the time when the 190 could literally be flying along in a straight line and fall out of the sky. Literally, I saw Roussos do that. It was amazing. Flying level one moment, the next second he just literally fell like a stone.
You know, I'm sure amazing if you did it on purpose.
He didn't do it on purpose. That was the thing. He just got too low in terms of speed, and he just literally dropped out of the sky. I am prepared to do some defence here. Oh, hang on. Can we double team the Spitfire?
Oh yeah. I'm above him. I'll begin making a diving pass.
We're both above him.
I was flying right up.
There. You'll soon be cut off from support. I say again, support will not be available.
So he's got a choice of who to chase. He's going to chase you.
Chasing me.
You didn't turn, did you?
No, I'm diving now. He's coming
Perfect.
right after me.
He has, and he's out.
Nice.
He'll come back, but he's out. Do you want to go and address the command centre?
I'm already on my way.
Perfect.
I had the momentum to carry me this way. I'm just going.
Oh, I did not need my engine damage to that moment.
Victory is close.
There's a pesky J4M sort of behind you, so just be a bit careful.
Right.
He's not actually, he's turned towards the... No, he's turned back towards you. Just be aware, he's not a threat at the moment. No, he's turned back to the airfield. He's no threat at all. Don't worry about it.
Command center flipped.
Good job.
It'd be nice if that was a repair airfield.
I've done pretty well without it. You've done plenty well without it. Well done.
We actually are on the verge of losing an airfield to Spitfires in there.
Wouldn't worry about it. Look at the score.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm actually going to see if I can bypass on the other side of this cliff and maybe
Yeah, why not?
sneak my way to the command center. I don't have time to get there, but
Be advised, the enemy is concentrating forces near the airfield. I'm proud
Well, that's
of
a
you,
good win.
pilots. Head back
I got
home.
Flying Vanguard.
Oh, you remember that as well? Pancaked midair. Yeah, he's just flying along and then suddenly just dropped out of the sky like a stone. This is before they nerfed the stalling mechanic and made it much harder to stall. And the Focke Wulfs were deadly for stalling then. It's not so bad now.
But yeah, no, I without Emma, half of those maneuvers I pulled would not have been able to pull them off because I would have stalled out and fallen out of the sky.
Well, I think Ray's right. I think if you keep Emma in the Focke Wulf 190D, you're going to find it a much better aircraft, and you're tending to confirm that. So I'm not surprised to hear that. I'm still going to move her into the P1101. Because I use that pitch up so much in my turns, it's a huge benefit to me to put her into a fighter. But The dive mechanic is excellent for heavies, for instance.
Yes, when Corvus and I were filming our, his review of Emma, he had her in, like, all kinds of heavy fighters before we even recorded, and he beat a P-61 in his Arrow with her in the pilot seat.
There you go. Okay, I would like to fly. I think it's my choice. I'm going to fly Tier 9 Ground Attacker, if I may.
Sure, Tier 9. I do not have a premium Tier 9, so I'm not going to be throwing Emma in anything here.
You have to work hard to stall a pancake, Bippity. Even nowadays, you have to work hard to stall it. Let alone back in the day when Rutos was flying.
Do I want to fly this?
He actually played a few games a few weeks ago. He reinstalled the game and played a few games. It's good to see him.
This is the only Tier 9 I'm actually working on. Yeah, I guess I'll fly this.
For those of you who don't know, Rusos Phenomenon, as he was known then, was actually a community contributor, and I mean a community contributor. We had them back in those days. On the EU server, although he was actually in Australia.
Oh gosh, the ping must have been awful.
He managed. He managed. But of course, events, dear boy, events. We lost our EU community manager, who was Eek, and Sonic Pariah was the NA community manager, who was who left in a hurry, and they didn't actually officially close the community contributor program down. They just stopped communicating with the community contributors. And when I say stop communicating with them, I mean the moment Eek and Sonic Pariah left, the community contributors never heard another word from the World of Warplanes team. Not even to say thank you for your time and efforts, but we're closing the program down. They just simply never talked to them again.
That's odd, considering that they send you airplanes to test for their data analysis.
There's a history here, F-22 Hunter, which I'm not going to go into. It would take too long. Those of you who were around in 2018 will know. There was a lot of bad feeling between certain elements of the World of Warplanes team and the Western players of the game.
You are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
Of course, that team no longer exists.
This is a new team that we're dealing with now?
Yep.
Oh, I love people that just incessantly ping the map. Yes, I know where to go. You don't need to ping the map to tell me where to go.
I'm always tempted to ping everywhere, including the enemy spawn when they do that. But that's childish, so I won't. Sergeant Zach is in an EF-131, and he's the only Tier 10 in the game. Matchmaking for the win, eh?
Neither of us can deal with that.
Get ready for
Nope.
action.
Well, unless he flies low.
I doubt my rockets could do enough damage to take out that one.
It was pretty shoddy, Andy. It was very shoddy. The background to it is that they introduced a patch, the notorious patch 2.0.5.
Everything comes back to that patch, doesn't it?
Yep, Ray mentions it quite frequently, as you're aware. They introduced that patch, and Eek, for instance, collected a dossier of players' reactions, which was overwhelmingly negative. Nobody liked the patch. And the World of Warplanes team took the attitude that we were effectively a bunch of entitled Western players complaining about their game, and we should put up and shut up because we had no right to criticise what they were doing. So they just stopped talking to us.
Jeez.
Very Russian attitude.
No wonder this game never really got off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically a crash and burn from that point on, because they just basically peed off so many people in the West, and on top of that, then basically took their football home with them.
Well,
Yeah, they did not. They did not like the criticism one little bit. Some of them, I have to emphasise here, not all of them, but some of them took it to heart and didn't like it and decided that we had basically lost any right to talk to them. Priolia who's a member of the World of Warplanes team at that time, used to actually jump into World of Warplanes streamers' streams and encourage them to promote the game, and was helpful and engaging and would answer questions about the game. And she was told to stop doing that. Told not to enter people's streams and not to help them.
Really?
Yep.
That's like basic 101 how you promote your game in today's world.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, of course, the Russian server existed at that time and had a much greater population, so it was almost like as if they'd calculated, we don't actually need you Westerners. But it wasn't true, because the Westerners paid a lot more money into the game. It was all a very shabby situation.
Poorly managed, I would say.
It was just childish, basically. Andy's made a comment in here. Very grown up, and yeah, this is British irony, I should emphasise. Oops.
We are going to need to take that mining plan if we have any. If we want to have
I'm
any.
trying to get there. Unfortunately, I came into the game bugged, and it also spawned me right in front of a J7W2, would you believe?
Oh, that's not good.
In our airfield, the J7W2 is right on my tail instantly. So I've lost a third of my health. Yeah, I had that bug where you spawn in as the wrong aircraft.
Oh, did you? I used to just crash my plane because I had control over it, and I would just crash it and then reset. But I recently learned you could just press enter twice, and then that fixes it.
Yeah, because actually it's to do with the message box. So I actually just go into the message box and then press enter once, and then come out of it again.
There's a 162 on your tail. I might be able to get him.
There's a fighter on me as well.
Yeah, it's the 162.
I think if I provided I kill that second. Ooh! Yeah.
Hi, TA 183. When did you get back there? And why did you completely ignore me to go after Q?
Brain dead bot.
Idiotic brain dead bot. Oh, hello.
Oh, nice kill.
I'm on fire.
Yeah, but you got him with rockets, I assume.
I did.
So ping is about 200 to the EU server. That's manageable. It's not great, but it's manageable. Just wondering if I'm doing the right thing, trying to pick up repairs here. Is the repair boat is damaged, isn't it? Yeah, I can tell it's damaged.
It's belching smoke.
2 minutes to respawn for that, whenever it got damaged.
I do want to research the 215, the one that's after this, and
That's worth researching. It's an air superiority fighter with a difference, and that is, of course, that it snipes at extremely long range. Sergeant, I don't know if I don't.
Victory is almost ours.
Love the message there, Q.
Yeah, that's actually when I was trying to get the aircraft switched back to my aircraft. Yeah, Zach's got a special team here, that's for sure.
A line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be
By the way, Q, I'm not talking about the Russian 215, the German 215.
We're waiting for your return.
Oh, okay.
Because I haven't actually gone down the Soviet line far enough for any tier 9s yet.
Completely different animal, and I wouldn't recommend the 215 to anybody except masochists.
That's what I've heard. But it's
It
so... It has my attention because it's just so weird.
Don't get me wrong, a good player can make it work, but it's a challenging aircraft. Let me put it that way.
Well, the entire German multi-role line is a series of challenging aircraft.
No, this one's especially challenging.
About as special as Zach's team.
About as special as Zach's team. Yeah, it's that level of challenge. Flight like a heavy, it can do a pretty good job if you know what you're doing in it. It can be made to work, but it's one of those planes that if you don't know what you're doing in it, it punishes you.
Yeah.
It's like the F7U. If you know what you're doing, you can be a monster in it. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're just going to sit there going, I hate this aircraft. I hate this aircraft. I hate this aircraft.
You know, the Soviet line I'm actually going down is the Lavochkins. Because the LA-160 is a plane that's had my attention for a few months now, and I'd like to get my hands on it.
Okay, that was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tier 9 was your pick.
Okay, 24,000. I'm miles away from researching the Tier 10. So let's just move on. Bippity, thank you so much for being here. Sweet dreams, my friend. Sleep well.
Yo, let's go back to 5. And I actually want to try something. What if I put Emma in my E3? What if I switch out Weber for Emma?
I think that would be a good move, personally. I don't think Weber actually brings much to the plane.
His special skill is like Love Hearts. You have to be at like a 45-degree angle to activate it. And everything that you could do that to flies at like... It's essentially a ground attacker is what I'm saying. Because everything else is easily able to keep pace with the E3 in altitude.
Yep.
And the E3's guns are just really weak in general.
Yeah, that's the one drawback, but we'll see. I mean, the maneuverability will be welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's got the design inspiration for my screen.
I doubt anyone will.
Yeah, but nobody's as old as me, are they?
You'll have to just, keep working at your screen there, your loading screen, and
yeah. This, as I say, this is my first attempt. I need to refine what's going on here quite considerably.
Honestly, just keep refining it, and what you do is you just keep using it until somebody gets it right, and then when somebody gets it right, you change it out for something different.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, I'll probably get a selection of these. These are the designs which I like. Most people will go for aircraft designs and something related to World of Warplanes, but I've just decided I like some. I've got another design inspiration, so these things will be popping up.
I honestly quite like all of the artwork that was put into these loading screens.
I really enjoyed doing the art for this. What I didn't enjoy was trying to size the image so that it fitted reasonably well onto the screen. Mm-hmm. And I haven't got it right now, but I was close enough to be able to use it for the stream.
The resolution of the picture is very, very important.
It's not so much the resolution, it's the placement. You've actually got a DDS file which is a specific size, but then you have to size the image within the DDS file, and that's the tricky part. It's not the full canvas, if you like. Where do you want to go? I'm kind of thinking you should go airfield,
I'm
but you
thinking
may have a
airfield.
different view.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Okay,
airfield.
think good.
It's all bot.
Good.
We can just kind of do whatever.
Pilots, get ready for action. Let's go.
I don't know. I have this gut feeling that Emma's gonna be more consistent in this plane than Weber.
I think there's a strong possibility she'd be better in the plane. And consider it's another opportunity to train her.
Mm-hmm.
You get your shooting boots on.
We've taken over the forward airfield. Nice work.
Crap, the dive speed at 109 is actually, like, really noticeable.
I think that's still up. Super. Ooh, come on. Perhaps a delayed registration of the kill.
A rocket has reached the target. Enemy object damaged.
I'm not going to capture any more sectors. I'm just going to go to their spawn and try and kill things.
Alright.
Normally that would be an off thing to do, but this is an all-bot battle, so...
Yeah. No, I get you. Well, that didn't go according to plan, do you?
A dirty C6 actually rammed me on purpose. I can't remember whether Bippity's in Queensland or not.
Honestly, we don't even have to really do anything. Our bots are taking that military base. This is just another example of bots doing bot things.
I think it's about time we both crashed on a sector and flipped it to them. I won't do that. Are we going to have another... the C6 has pulled out of the ramp this time. Wow. I can't believe I didn't kill the Hurricane in that head-on. Ooh, that could be nasty. I've got a V4 on me. That I'm going to struggle to shake off.
Where you at?
I'm in spawn, of course.
Oh, great. My audio cut out.
I'm in the spawn, of course.
My audio decided to cut out at that exact moment, but I see you.
Yeah. The V4, unfortunately, I was shooting at something else and the V4 spawned.
Yeah, that thing
Of course,
is
that
that thing is quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take about 5 years to shoot me down, but it can just chase me right across the map.
Can you lead him towards me? I'm right
We
behind.
are losing the military base.
Yeah, give me...
There are too many
I don't want
enemy
to turn
aircraft.
just at the moment because I'm a bit close to him. Oh, he's turned. Oh, something. Oh, he turned around again.
I think he broke off. No, not really. He's still trying.
Yeah, he's locked onto me.
I can't keep up. I can't keep up, Q. I can't keep up with him.
He's absolutely locked on and stayed with me all the way through this passage of play.
I can't keep up with him, Q. I'm sorry.
I'm not surprised. You're not meant to be able to keep up with him.
Keep it up. Victory is almost ours.
He's still on me. I think he's finally broken off now. So that's a minute and a half or thereabouts? 90 seconds he was actually chasing me all across the map, that bot?
Oh, now he's on me.
Yeah, I'm coming towards you now.
I mean, I can easily outmaneuver this guy.
Yeah, he's actually chosen the wrong target now, but I'm so annoyed I want to shoot him.
Do you read me? Over.
Now, if only my guns were good.
Yay! That'll teach you to chase me all over the map.
Out of you, pilots. Head back
If
to
my
work.
guns were slightly better.
That was well, he certainly stopped me from doing what I said I was going to do. He chased me right out of the spawn and protected all his aircraft. Well played, intelligent bot.
The first neat, intelligent bot we've seen in what? 3 hours? 2 hours?
Yeah. Yeah. Must kill P-38F. Will not let go.
I mean, if you're gonna hunt P-38Fs at Tier 5, that's the plane to do it. You're really fast in that plane.
Yep. But he's really fast as well, so and locked on, so it was like a multi-roll, that was. Anyway, that's that done.
Oh my! So I think Emma is actually a better pilot in the E3 than freaking Weber, who's
Yeah, I wouldn't be
trained for
surprised
this
to
plane.
wouldn't be surprised to hear that at all.
I think that just means Weber has some not great pilot skills on him.
They're very specific, and the number of times you can use them, I think, is fairly limited.
Let's see. His unique skill increases damage by 10% and increases critical and fire chance by 50, but you have to be near your max speed and at a pitch angle that exceeds 45 degrees.
Yeah, it's not easy, is it?
No, that's like Love Hearts but worse.
Yeah, it is.
Because at least with Love Hearts, it's related to ordnance, and so you want to be dive bombing with that, and it actually has a more impactful result than increased crit or fire chance.
Just give me a second. Okay. My choice, I guess. You're sitting here waiting. Go Q.
Yeah.
Pick a plane.
Yeah,
Q.
it would be your choice.
Pick a plane. Tier 8.
Tier
I'm
8.
going into the F2G.
Tier 8. I think I will put Vogel back in the Horton. Which, my Horton pilot has both marksmans on him, so I lose a bit of accuracy when I put her in here, but... Well, okay. I lose auto aim, I think, when I put her in here, but not too much. So, what are your thoughts on Emma?
I like her. I think she's a very strong pilot. I would thoroughly recommend it. If you can spend the time or you're willing to spend the money, I would definitely recommend acquiring her.
Because we've been going through all of this, and I don't know if anybody ever actually asked you what your thoughts were on the new pilot.
Some people have during the course of the stream. As I say, I've got a straightforward, flat recommendation. Leaving aside whether it's a good idea to spend the money, definitely acquire her. Maybe grind half of it. The grind's not too bad, but it is a fairly long grind, and it's in 3 weeks.
It's front
So
loaded.
if you can get 50% of the grind done, I think she's probably worth the rest of the money if you have that money to spare.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's a pixel pilot in a pixel game that one day will die, so you have to weigh that up for yourself. If you can grind the whole thing for free, brilliant.
Yep, I did that. I'd rather grind all of the events for free, if I could. Which, now that I actually have a substantially large aircraft pool, it's possible I can do that from now on.
Attention. You're
I just
entering
need
the
time.
combat
Good luck.
zone. Get ready for battle. Good luck.
I'm a garrison maven here, I think.
Aren't we all on this kind of map?
Big advantage to be able to secure the. Oh, it's all bot battle.
It's all bots.
I'll go into the middle in that case. It's big. Or if we want to prolong it, maybe we should concentrate on the garrisons. What do you think?
I'm fine with going for the garrisons first.
Okay, which way are you going to go?
I'm gonna
You're
go-
far, so
I'll
I would go
I'll
right.
to the right.
Pilots, get ready
Yeah.
for action. Let's go.
I love the way this plane looks.
Yeah, it is
it has become one
very-
of my favorites, genuinely.
very cool looking plane.
Damn it. And this is when not having the marksman skills actually did come to bite me, because when I take those head-ons, I would win that with the J4 in this plane.
Yeah, marksman skills on that plane, pretty important in my opinion.
But Emma doesn't have them, so I didn't win the head-on. My shell shot under the J4M. Thank you. Thank you, game. Now there's a bot P80 here, so that's gonna be a pain.
Ooh, wow. Low level aim AA gun got me before I got here.
Oh, hello, B-32. YouTube, what do you mean you're not receiving enough information?
Again.
Look, I know my streaming setup's not ideal, but, like, it's not bad.
Kill that yak, and now he's going so slowly. Let's get it out there. Ow. Ooh, Botter, PATA and Yak. 9 ganged up on me.
Yeah, P-80. Very dangerous plane. Hi, 109C. No, you're... Kill my B-32. There you go. The bots are like, you've been complaining about us all day, now we're gonna absolutely crush you in this battle. You know? Kind of funny when you think about it like that.
Well, it's not over yet.
I know.
Okay, I think now we do have... Ooh, heavy.
Yep, I see him.
Tripled heavy. Dead heavy. I think we probably will have to think about the airfield now, since that's the nearest sector to us.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably enabling them to attack every sector at the same time.
Well, that's exactly what it does.
Oh, what? Oh, I-260's there.
Yeah, I-260's mine, don't worry about it. Gone.
I'm gonna start shooting this 190C.
That's helpful, I've got a fire on the Key 84. He dead?
109Z is dead. Flip this out.
Is that the PATA behind me?
There
Yes,
is
it is.
P80, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that
That works for me.
works
I'm
for
happy
me.
with that.
Yeah.
If he wants to headbutt me and knock himself out, that's entirely up to him. Oh, we're going to have to go and get another sector.
I'm going to this one garrison over here.
Yeah, I need to get repairs. And then I'll go over to the other garrison. Actually, I probably won't. I think we're going to take that anyway. I hope so.
See, you think that. Sometimes
Yeah, I
it's better
know.
to just guarantee
I know.
it.
I'm sitting there thinking, we've got 5 aircraft there. Surely we can take that.
History tells of a different path.
Glad I destroyed that. That felt a bit worrying. Going head on with the Yak 9U.
Alright, got this garrison. There's
Yeah, it's
also
beginning
a
to.
wall line, so.
Yeah, thank you for the warning. Oh, nice. Just use a rocket Q.
Oh. That was not a pretty mess that I got myself into there.
Step it up. We're losing the battle.
I did get Nakamatsu medal though, so.
Okay, good.
I feel like the P-80 is a bigger threat than the 1056.
Oh, just dying already. The ATA gone.
Thank you.
I've actually got rockets. Let's try and use them. Super.
Oh, hi 1056.
Ooh, 1056. That's mine.
Yeah, you got him. I'm gone. I don't have the health to take him out. I am leaving.
He gone.
Oh, I see Yak 9U. I'm glad I spotted that.
Yeah, that's the one I was a bit worried about going head on with earlier. Got away with it.
Alright, let's see if I can get some repairs. Actually, that one. That light fighter's completely surrounded. I'm gonna actually go see if I can get the ground attacker.
We have complete control
Well, the
of the
game's gonna end before I
skies.
get there, isn't it?
Way to go. The enemy
Yes.
is almost defeated. Make a final push. Victory is ours. We're waiting
Super.
for your
Oh, and
return.
McCampbell.
In my case, a Lambert. Gonna have to examine what work I need to do to get the Republic multi-role line. I suspect it's start from scratch with that one.
Honestly, grinding that one's gonna be tough.
Yeah, but at least I've got the advantage of knowing what I should be doing. Whereas the first time I ground it out on the EU server, I had literally no idea what those planes did, and I had a horrible time in them.
Yeah.
Good,
What
we're
about-
making good progress towards the Starfire, and I've got plenty of free experience to be able to get the rockets and the Vulcan cannons straight away when I get that plane.
Yes, that is needed. Well, I'm about 50% of the way to my next skill point.
Super, it's been a productive stream.
Mm-hmm. And I think I'm gonna have to call it here.
Here?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call it here because I've got some school stuff to take care of this afternoon. So
Much more important.
it's been fun, Q.
It has indeed. Now, just before you go, very quickly, I believe, but correct me if I'm wrong, that the American clocks go back next Sunday. Is that correct?
I can never remember when that is.
There's something going off in my mind saying it's the first. It's always the first Sunday in November for you.
Let me. When do the clocks change? Sunday, November 3rd is spring forward.
Fallback, surely.
Fallback, yeah. Fallback.
Yeah, we don't use that in the UK, incidentally, because of course it's autumn, not fall.
Last I heard, we're actually going to stop moving the clocks soon.
Well, Arizona doesn't, does it? So
Arizona doesn't, and last I heard it was in the federal government as like a proposed bill or something like that, but I don't know.
yeah, same idea gets kicked around over here every now and then, but it's not happened so far.
I don't know if it's
The reason I ask is because we will be back to normal if we are streaming together again next weekend, which I very much hope we will be. We'll be back to normal service. Now, for you, that doesn't change. It's 7:30 in the morning, but for me, it will be back to 1:30 in the afternoon.
right.
Thank you, Erica, for confirming that. Okay, so whereas today I had to start streaming at 12:30 in order to start at 7:30 in the central time zone where you are.
Okay, so
Okay, right. I better let you go. You've got to do your schoolwork.
yeah. So it's been
good
fun,
luck with
Q,
that.
and
Yes, it has. It's been an excellent stream. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm looking forward to next week.
So am I. Okay, and with that, I shall say cheerio to you.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Gotta love when Discord does the silly little sound effect things. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next week with the Noble Q. Yeah. Have a good day.